Welcome to our channel. Today, we have a story that is stranger than fiction. The story of a woman or girl at the time named Eugenia Faleni. Let's begin. Eugenia Faleni grew up in a very poor European family in the second half of the 19th century in Italy. At that time, a famine struck Italy, and many European countries fell below the poverty line. People began to die of hunger, and a large wave of migration spread from Italy and neighboring countries to America, Australia, and New Zealand in search of a better life. But the disaster was in the Faleni family. Eugenia's father was married and had agreed with his wife to have 2 Down children, 24 children in total. Due to the economic conditions, they were only able to have 22 children. Eugenia's father could not feed all his children, so he decided to migrate like others by ship to New Zealand. He sold their house and land for the cheapest prices to afford the travel fare by ship. When they arrived in New Zealand, they faced the same poverty. As immigrants were used as servants and laborers, Eugenia's father decided to employ all his children, including Eugenia, whom he disguised as a boy to work at the port. Eugenia worked in hard labor, lifting goods, and everyone thought she was a boy. Over time, Eugenia decided to migrate to Australia in search of a better life. She secretly boarded a ship, and upon arrival in Australia, the sailors discovered she was pregnant. She was kicked off the ship and left alone in Australia, where she gave birth to her child at an old lady's house before leaving the child and looking for work. Eugenia returned to disguise herself as a man and started working as a stable hand. She worked diligently until a famous doctor noticed her and asked her to work for him. While working for the doctor, she met his beautiful widow housekeeper, Annie Burkett. Their relationship developed until they got married and lived together for 5 years, filled with problems and quarrels, until Annie suddenly disappeared. Years later, Annie's decomposed body was found, and Eugenia was accused of her murder. Eugenia was arrested and put in prison, where the inmates discovered she was a woman disguised as a man. She was transferred to a women's prison, and her trial began, ending with a life sentence for the murder of Annie. After her identity was revealed, the story spread in the newspapers and caused a great controversy. Her second wife, Elizabeth, did not discover Eugenia's truth until after her arrest, and was extremely shocked. That was the end of our story today. If you liked the story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to encourage us to present more interesting stories. Thank you, and see you in a new story.